And Raja immediately agreed to join our Bill de Blasio for South Asians. And he is going to be appointed as the Vice Chair for Bill de Blasio for South Asians. And Raja Banaras ji is going to be a public relation person for South Asian for Bill de Blasio.
I want to say everybody welcome here, and on behalf of South Asian community, I would like to welcome the next mayor of New York and great friend of our community, Mr. de Blasio. September 10 election will be decided the next 4 years of New York and its city government. If we want to take care of our future, we must vote for Mr. de Blasio. Thank you very much. God bless America.
I want to thank so many people here supporting our campaign. It's nice to be here at our new headquarters. That is a wonderful location. To Raja Sajid and Raja Baharas, I want to say that their leadership is not only crucial to our campaign. I want to thank you for that. But even more profoundly, I want to thank you for your leadership of the community and all you're doing for the Pakistani American community and for all South Asian people in New York City. And it takes strength to be a community leader. I think everyone in this room today knows it's not easy to be a leader. And of a new emerging community, it takes a particular strength to make the needs and the interests of the community known and to make sure that the city government responds. And Raja are doing that. I think we all owe them a debt of gratitude. Let's applaud them for their tremendous effort. Now, I want to say I believe in my heart that you are meeting the next First Lady of New York City. And you'll see as you get to know her, people all over the city have responded very warmly to Shirlane, because she's a strong, intelligent, warm, kind person. And when people think about leadership, they think about wanting someone in City Hall that actually understands them. A lot of people realize that when they talk to Shirlane, that we're partners in everything we do, and that we're figuring out the course together. And she's gotten such a great response from people all over the city. And I think when she is First Lady, New York City will be a better place for it. Now, I just want to talk to you for a moment. First, my first message is thank you, because your help is incredibly important. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for standing up for me. Thank you for going door to door and convincing people it matters. And by the way, you're helping me to achieve a vision of a better New York City and a New York City that's more fair to everyone. But you're also in the process strengthening the community, because every additional person who votes strengthens the community. I hope they'll vote for me, but even if they don't vote for me, everyone who votes strengthens the community. Everyone who gets involved strengthens the community. But it will take your personal, your direct energy and conviction and your voice to convince people that it matters. It's a problem we have in the United States that people are voting less and less. It can't be allowed to happen in this community. Because if you want this community to have the rights and the power it deserves, the way to do it is by expressing yourself through the vote. So what will that mean in terms of the changes we need to make? Well, I've talked about the inequalities facing the city and the things that have to be addressed. I've talked about the fact that our school system is not serving enough of our children. And that's why my plan is to have full-day pre-K for every child in the city guaranteed, and after-school programs for middle school kids. That will make a huge difference. I've talked about how people are being forced out of their own neighborhoods and can't afford to live in their own neighborhoods, which is why I have a plan to create 200,000 units of affordable housing over the next 10 years. So hard-working people can find a place that they can afford to live in. We talked about addressing the challenges of people trying to find decent jobs, why we need to take more of our city resources and provide it to the city university so people can get a good education. They can afford to go to the city university and learn skills for some of the fields that are strong in the city, like technology and film and television and healthcare, where there's been more and more jobs, but people need the qualifications and the training. Talked about small business, and there's no area where the Bloomberg administration has been more unfair to people all over the city than when it comes to small business. Small business people work so hard, and they create jobs at the local level. And what has happened, particularly in the last few years, more fines and penalties and regulations, making it harder and harder for business to exist. Certainly harder to create more jobs. I want to roll that back, and I want to replace that approach with an approach that actually helps small business. I want small businesses to know they can turn to the city when they need financial help. They can get loans from the city of New York, get credit, so you can keep building your businesses. Because we need jobs at the grassroots level, and you create them. And finally, we need fairness. We need fairness. And we all know what's happened in this city. There's been many times when people have been treated unfairly. The stop and frisk policy has treated so many people, this community, obviously, and the Black and Latino community as well, has treated particularly young men like they've done something wrong even when they haven't. It's created a division between police and community. That policy needs to be changed fundamentally. We can't treat our own people like they've done something wrong when they haven't. We know that people in the Pakistani community and all Muslim communities have experienced bias. And that's why we have to have an inspector general at the NYPD to make sure that anything done by the NYPD is done properly, with real oversight. There's no discrimination against any community. We need to know that the city, people in City Hall and people in every city agency understand the community. And the best way to do that is to hire officials from every community, including Muslim communities, including the Pakistani community, so the city government looks like the whole city and is representative of the whole city. And if we had a different kind of leadership in City Hall, the kind I would provide, the kind that would be more fair because it's more representative, we never would have had the problem with the Pakistani parade a few days ago. Do you realize that just days before the parade was supposed to happen, that City Hall canceled the permit? And a parade that meant so much to so many people wasn't going to happen. When I found out, I immediately intervened, because it was my view that it was unfair. It was unfair for bureaucrats to take a parade away from a community, take away a chance for them to represent themselves to the whole city. I'm proud to say that in part because of our intervention, we were able to get the permits again so the parade could go on, and that's important for this community. And finally, you know, there's a saying, an American saying, fair is fair. There's one standard of fairness. It is absolutely right in our school system that we recognize important Christian holidays. It's absolutely right that we recognize important Jewish holidays. A lot of people from those two communities in this city. And it's fair and respectful, and those children need to be able to be with their family on their holidays. That's right. So if you agree with that logic, it's obvious we must have the two Eid holidays also recognized by our school system. And I'm committed to doing that as mayor. There should be one standard of fairness so that everyone knows that they are respected. Every child knows how much we value them and their future. So these are the kind of changes I want to make in our city. I'll say the obvious. I need your help to do it. The help you're giving today is fantastic. This door-to-door effort is extraordinary. But I need each and every one of you to speak up to your family, to your friends, to the people you work with, and tell them that this election matters. And with your support, I will have the honor of being the next mayor of New York City, and I'll have the honor of working as a friend to this community. Thank you so much.